All right. I think we're about good to go here. I am getting everything ready to rock and roll, and I see people in the chat box. So, um, make sure everybody can hear me okay. Can everybody hear me all good and copacetic? And type yes in there if you can, or raise your hand. A little bit of a delay. So, if you don't know how to do all of this, you should have a webinars on air icon to the left for raising your hand and for typing your questions into the Q&A and even getting on the chat box. So Josh is answering yes. Susan Hopper saying yes. So everybody's hearing me good, loud and clear. Awesome. Perfect. Well, I've got 9 o'clock. I know some other folks are going to be logging in here. This is for Mastery members only in my group. And so I wanted to keep this kind of intimate so we would have more time to answer your questions over the next, 45 minutes to an hour or whatever, however deep y'all want to go and take me. So with that being said, I want to make sure we've got some housekeeping stuff done. If you are not a member in our Mastery group, MLSP Mastery group, be sure that you check your email. If you're not on Facebook, I had to invite you via email, the email that's on file in your back office. And so check that, accept that, and that will put you in our closed secret group so that you can see all the training videos and updates and anything that we put in there as a community. So take advantage of that. Also, you want to get on the MLSP community page because there is a wealth of knowledge on there. If you ever have questions, you can type those in and somebody will be there to answer those for you. Be sure you get in all of those My Lead System Pro groups and join up and be in those communities. So and then also I just put together a text blast to this list. And so I posted that in the Facebook community, the Mastery community. And so you want to go click on that, put your information in, and get on that list. So if anything is shaking and baking and I send out a text message, you will get it. And it also reminds you about these webinars and things of this nature so that you don't ever miss them and you can be a part of it. All right. Also, for this webinar, there's a Q&A icon over on the left-hand side of your screen. You can click on that, type your questions in, and then also, since we're intimate, I can bring you over onto the speaker side to where we can see you if you want to. So if you have a computer that has a camera, a webcam, and you want to be brought over onto the other side, just raise your hand and I will bring you over and you can ask your questions there, and we can even kind of communicate and go back and forth that way as well. So if your computer has that functionality, you have a mic and that kind of stuff, feel free to raise your hand, click on the raise your hand icon, and then I will bring you over into the speaker side and we can collaborate that way. So with that being said, I see we're chatting now over here. Mr. Miller is in the house, so that's good. Let's see here. Let's see who all we've got on here. We got Roberta, we got Josh, we got Doug and Regina, we've got Doc, Clyde, Susan, Ward, and Priscilla. We're missing a few, but they'll get on here if they want to get on here, I guess. And so with that being said, let's go ahead, and I want to rock and roll and kind of make sure everybody has the correct mindset and understand where we're coming from with MLSP when it comes to building your business. Okay, so first and foremost, the way I look at it, and I've always looked at it, this is a training platform to learn attraction marketing. I've not had anybody get into my network marketing business from one of my MLSP campaigns by clicking on my opportunity and then just automatically signing up. That's not to say that that does not happen, but this is to learn attraction marketing, and attraction marketing does, in fact, without a shadow of a doubt, no matter what anybody tells you, does put people in your business. And when you learn attraction marketing, it's empowering because now you can drive traffic to whatever it is you want to drive traffic to. Okay, it doesn't even have to be network marketing or direct sales. It can be a brick and mortar business. It can be a real estate business. It can be a mortgage business. It can be whatever. Your sole goal is to find people that have a want, need, or a desire. Find their pain. Show them how you can fix that pain by plugging into you and taking advantage of your goods and services. That's how I learned this. I did it for real estate. And then I drove traffic to me instead of me having to go out hunting for it. And it's just a lot more fun, a better way of doing business. Now, everybody, I believe, on this webinar is in the same network marketing business that I'm in. I will also say this. I'm not a proponent or an advocate for multiple network marketing businesses. I do one, and that's all I'm going to do. As long as their doors are open, that's the one I'm in. But attraction marketing is a very, very powerful thing to learn. It's a very, very powerful skill to have, and it is empowering. It'll help you with your posture. It'll help you when getting people to, into your business. And so there's all kinds of things that you can do with the tools inside of My Lead System Pro to generate campaigns for your network marketing business so that you are growing that as well. So with that being said, any questions, we need you to type those in the Q&A, and evidently everybody's bashful and doesn't want to come over onto the speaker side. Okay, so I guess y'all get to see my smiling face all night long. So anyway, this webinar is for you to get your questions answered. This, for lack of a better word, is a intimate, private coaching call for all of you. And I've had some great coaching calls this week, which brings me to another thing. If you want to schedule a coaching call for this community, for y'all that are on here, it's absolutely free. So what you would simply do is go to my website, and I'll even type that in the chat. So let me do that. But it's my website at johnmorrison.ws/book me. And I have actually put that inside of the Facebook group as well. So you can click on an available time slot there, book your coaching call, and we'll discuss whatever you want to discuss. Now, I'm going to go over a few things that might trigger some conversation here, that might trigger some questions. And first and foremost is Facebook and what you do not want to do. You do not want to go spamming your network marketing company's websites or groups with all of your My Lead System Pro links, okay? Do not do that, all right? You're not wanting people that are already in your network marketing business. Now, if they come to you wanting to learn this so that they can implement it and you refer them, that's a whole nother deal. But keep this separate, okay? You don't want to sit there and have that conflict going. That's not what it was intended for it to begin with. All right. The second thing is when you're pasting your campaigns, those links that generate your capture page and things of this nature, I highly recommend that you lead with a quick 2 to 3 minute video explaining what they're going to learn once they get to that link that makes them want to put their information in to get the value. In other words, let's just say you're wanting them to go to your campaign, how to recruit leaders into your network marketing business. Well, what I would do is I would go watch that 71-minute webinar with Todd Falcone. I would put down just a handful of bullet points that they're going to learn inside that webinar that you took away from. You took away from that webinar some takeaways that they're going to learn that would benefit them. You're going to put a 3-minute video or less together saying, hey, I wanted to invite you to a free 71-minute, very, very chock full of content webinar with Todd Falcone on how to get leaders and recruit leaders into your network marketing business. On this webinar, you're going to learn A, you're going to learn B, you're going to learn C. And at the 48-minute mark, he drops a golden nugget that absolutely changed my mindset. So you want to take advantage of this, put your information in by clicking on the link below, get immediate access, and I hope this brings big time value to you and your business. We'll see you on the other side. A quick little video like that, instead of just pasting your link and go at it. You're going to get a lot more traction and a lot better results doing that than just posting and spamming people with your links. Okay, so keep that in mind. Also, go to different network marketing groups besides your network marketing company. Search for different pages. There's all kinds of things that you can do. I'll share my screen here in a minute, and I'll show you over here on my other screen these books. Like, for example, matter of fact, let me just do it now. I'm going to go over here to Facebook, and let's just say I go up here into the search, and I type network marketing. Oops. And you can see all of the network marketing groups here that you can choose from. You can even hit search here, and it's going to pull up, anything that has to do with network marketing. Now that slapped Eric Worre in there, so I want to take that out. But we can search network marketing, and it's gonna pull up all of these pages. People, you can click by pages. You can just scroll through all of these, and you can like these pages. You can, go over here and see, how many people like this. Each and every one of these groups, you can see how many people are following. That still doesn't mean you go over here and start spamming them. But I'm just telling you, there's all kinds of groups that you can join to where you can bring value and content and put your content on these groups and sites. Okay, you can search by groups, and here's all of the network marketing groups that you can imagine. You can search by MLM. You can search by direct sales. You can search Tony Robbins. You can search John Maxwell. And all of these pages that have anything to do with those people, you can join them. And you can join hundreds and start getting valuable content that makes these people want to click on your link. All right. And you do that by that video. All right. Do not be bashful. Take the leap. And just start, okay? Take action. Don't be so bashful and think your video's got to be perfect. The 90-second video that put over 700 consultants in my business was horrible, but I still have it running, okay? So you can take advantage of that. All right, let's see. We got a question here. Share the mindset of keeping the main thing, as well as having secondary sources of income. Well, that's a great question, Ward. And what a lot of people. Here's my philosophy. I was on the phone with somebody today. I'm not going to mention any names, but there's a buzz out there that certain people, mainly like I mentioned at training that we did back in May. There's going to be some top leaders, top money earners, people that don't really understand what this is about. They think it's a lead purchasing system instead of an educational platform, that will say that this is a distraction. And at that training, for those of you that were not here at our live training in Temple, I said that was going to happen and that these people were absolutely stone cold true if you let it. Meaning, a lot of people are saying that this is a distraction and it will take you away from your network marketing business and being productive in your network marketing business. Now, those people are correct if you let this become a distraction. I have not let it become a distraction. I recommend that you not let it become a distraction. And what I mean by that is when you should be building your business the way you've been taught to build your business, which for a fact works. Old school methods work. I've built a massive business, just old school methods. But the new school methods work too. And I would rather have them both working, and I call that all school. I like all school methods working at the same time. But at the same time, I'm not in front of a computer, just staring at a screen watching webinars when I could be at a hotel meeting with a guest or in a living room with guests or helping my organization build their business, or when I could be on the telephone contacting people already on my list. What I do is I would, if I were you, would learn these things. I would watch a training video a day, or if I had an hour, I would do an hour watching an hour training video, whether I broke that into 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes in the evening before going to bed. But I would do it when I'm not making calls, when it's too late to make calls, where people would cuss you out if you call them, and why are you calling me at this hour? You do it on your downtime so that it does not distract you from your business. DVR your favorite show, okay? But you have to understand that this is education. This is getting you better so that you can make more money in whatever avenue you want to make, okay? Now, with that being said, there is a beautiful concept that goes along with this. Now, before I get into that, I want you to understand why I'm saying what I'm saying. I don't agree with the fact that this would be that this is a distraction to your network marketing business. And the reason I say that is, if that was the case, then no college student should ever get into Ambit Energy. Now, do we know that that's not so? Of course we do. There wouldn't be a Jordan Buckingham story. There wouldn't be a whole bunch of these other stories. And I'm seeing everybody on here, I think, in Ambit, so that's why I'm being specific to our network marketing business. But my point is, I had somebody say that somebody told them, and somebody then told them, they're never bold enough to just come tell me, but they beat the hopes and dreams out of everybody else. And I say, well, if education is a distraction, then why would you recruit a college student? Why would you recruit a school teacher, a football coach? Their jobs are distractions. You see, that's ludicrous. It's not a distraction. It's getting better. It's a distraction only if you let it become one. So I don't understand, nor do I see how learning new skills can be a bad thing, especially when they make you better. And at the same time, they help you build your business. Now, that brings us to the second aspect. There are going to be times, I don't care who you are, where you're going to talk to somebody that you want to invite to look at your network marketing business, and they're already in a network marketing company or in a network marketing business that they're absolutely passionate about. They don't want to take a look at yours. They're not interested in yours, but now you can still deliver value to those people by plugging them into this. And all I do when that happens is I say, well, great. What are you doing for lead generation? What are you doing to get more butts in the seats to take a look at your ABC company presentation? And I go and I drill into the most painful thing for any network marketer, and that's having enough people to talk to. And they'll look at you like, well, I do this, I do it the way we've always done it. And I say, well, you might want to go check out this link, and you check out a tool that I use to build my network marketing business on autopilot and utilizing attraction marketing, where people are coming to me instead of me having to chase them. And I refer them to this platform. And they either get in or they don't, but if they do, that's money you don't leave on the table. And that is another stream of income. you need to have multiple streams of income. One, network marketing income. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying, because you don't want any competition. You need to find what you're passionate about, have that one network marketing business, and nothing competes with that. But having other streams of income, whether it's providing them value through training or selling some products or what have you, coaching, you need to have other streams of income, period. I don't care I don't care what anybody tells you, because I'm just going to tell you, companies come and go. I think the one I'm in right now is going to be around a long, long time. But I also have seen some companies that I got involved in that are history, that I thought were going to be around a long, long time. All it takes is one bad decision and SIPO. And that's why I have the same mindset with this as I had with real estate. You know, my mentors that taught me attraction marketing and real estate said you need to brand you, and that way, because very, very few realtors ever stay with the same broker or brokerage or franchise or whatever you want to call it. Very rarely do they stay with that one company for their entire profession and or career. And so when you do decide to leave, and there's another company willing to pay you more money to come over to them, you want your clients and all of the clients you worked so hard to build over the years to go with you. You don't want them to stay at that brokerage and then you start over once you go to the new one. And you do that by branding you. And I shared examples of this at the training, to where all kinds of free reports I came out with, buyer incentives, seller incentives. You had to search hard to find the real estate company that I was in. In all of that marketing, they saw John Morrison, make the right move, and my slogan and my logo, and I mean, it was just branded to the T. And because I wanted them to go with me wherever I went, not with the brokerage. Well, this is no different. You want to brand you, and you want to give value so that people are attracted to you, so that you have more and more people to talk to, so that you can funnel them off into whatever aspect or angle or direction benefits them, while at the same time benefiting you by bringing value to everybody. So that's a long, drawn-out answer, but all you're doing, keep doing what you've been doing to build your network marketing business. You're learning some additional skills through this platform. You're implementing these skills on your downtime, which is going to generate more and more leads. And out of that lead funnel, they're either interested in what you've got, or they're happy with what they got. They just want that better. And you're going to send them to where they need to go and get paid either way. That's as easy as I can explain it, okay? Do you plan on doing Facebook Live anytime soon? Yeah, we can do it live as fast as you want to do it. Give me a specific question about Facebook that you want. I see one of the Facebook gurus has just joined us. Mr. Snow is on here. So, has everybody got a fan page? Shoot me a yes, raise your hand, a holy grunt, or something. Okay, because I will address Facebook really, really quickly, and or as thorough as you want to cover it, Mr. Bohannon. But I need to know where everybody's at. If you don't have a fan page, while I'm waiting on answers, whether it's in the chat box or by y'all raising your hand, you need to have a fan page. Here's the rule of thumb about social media. Whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram, well, Instagram's a little bit different, but Facebook, Google+, Twitter, you want to bring value, and I'm just going to keep it Facebook specific, because Facebook has many, many tentacles, so to speak. You've got a timeline of all of your personal information. You've got pages, you've got groups, you've got ads. There's a whole gamut of things. So here's the rule of thumb in Facebook, and it makes my gums itch to watch people do it wrong. And I could even go back over here on my Facebook page and show you example after example after example of people doing it wrong. Not necessarily in our company, but in other companies. And here's the rule of thumb. On Facebook, on your timeline, you want that to be one massive party. You want to bring funny videos that have nothing to do with network marketing or your business. You want to bring what I call jealousy marketing to the table. You want to take lifestyle photos of you and your family out enjoying life when other people would typically be working. You want pictures on the golf course or at the swimming pool or at the country club or at the fish fry or whatever it is you're doing that is fun, and posting funny, fun stuff so that people, the second you post something, here's what you want. You want them turning on notifications so that they make sure they see any post that you post on Facebook. And you can even turn notifications on for anybody on your Facebook page and do the same thing for anybody that you want to follow, okay? And it's very, very simple. Matter of fact, I'll show you. All right, so if I was to go over here to my Facebook, this is what I mean by my timeline, okay? This is the John and Kelly Morrison timeline. All right, so if I was to click on here, you're going to see stuff that we posted, okay? Here we are at the pool yesterday. That went viral yesterday. Here's something that a lot of people were liking and sharing, and 30 other people liked that and shared it. The White House 1 year after Trump is elected. That was funny, whether you like him or not. I'm not saying I'm a Trump fan. I'm just saying that was funny. I don't care who you are. Anyway, so then, I posted this video of this gymnast with no legs and basically put in here, I saw this a couple years ago and it gets me every time I see it. I love human spirit that never gives up and gets the job done with no excuses. And people are watching that, all right, and commenting nonstop. John Fraser even commented on it, all right. And then Kelly posted something there. I mean, you will not see my network marketing company on any of these except when somebody like this tags me and it just pops up. I didn't do that, okay? But there again, that's branding, that's marketing. Then I posted this. This guy's hilarious, and so I've got people following that, clicking on that, and so if somebody wanted to get notified every time I posted something, what they could do is come up here and click on this little arrow. Now, it might not let it do it here because it's me, but I could turn on, like right now it says turn off notifications. So the notifications are on. So I get notified the second something gets posted on my page. And you can do that for anybody. So if I wanted to come over here and let's just say J.J. Watts was mentioned, and this is CBS Sports. I could turn on notifications for this. If I wanted to, every time CBS Sports posted something, or J.J. Watts, I could turn on notifications and it would notify me the second that they posted something. If you are following somebody in another network marketing company, that's powerful. That right there is a big time nugget that I just gave you. You can follow their posts so that before you reach out to them privately, you can kind of get an idea of what they're talking about. Okay, what gets their hot button, what gets them jazzed, what gets them their juices flowing. Okay, any of these people. If I wanted to follow this person, I could turn on notifications for Christina and follow her and be notified. And so you can do that. But the point of it is, on your timeline up here when you're starting to post things, that should not be your network marketing pitch every swinging time. All right? I could type a name in here, go to one of my friends, And post after post after post after post is their network marketing deal. And it's not even the same company I'm in. I'm just telling you, that's not how, it's a turnoff. People are going to block you, unfriend you. You want this to be a party where they want to follow you. They want to befriend you. Now, you're going to send them over here to your page once you reach out to them privately by, and what I mean by privately is, you know, I could click on, you know, a person on here. Let's just see here. I could click on Christina here, and it pulls up here, and I could send her a private message by clicking right there on that message, okay? That's what I mean by privately reaching out to them. And there's ways of doing that. And there's all kinds of training on this in your back office on what to do, what to say. And that's where the skills come in that you still have to have. This is a people business, okay? But that's how you're going to do it. And then you direct them to your fan page. Now, over here, I've got 2 different fan pages. I've got one for my network marketing business, and I got one that's generic, all right? And so I just send people over here if they're in some other network marketing company that they're happy with, so that they can plug in here, they can like this page, and then it eventually I provide them value here. I'll post some content here that makes them want to, you know, plug in, you know, free webinar tonight on attraction marketing. Well, if somebody's in network marketing and they're wanting to get more people into their business, that's probably going to be something that they're interested in. So they click on that link and it takes them there, and it captures their information. Here, I blanked out the name of my company that this person texted me. I did a screen capture of that when it came on my phone. If you've got a smartphone, the way to do that is you hold the power and the home button down at the same time, and it'll snap a photo of that screen and save it as a photo. Well, I posted this here because this is very, very powerful. Thought I would share another little milestone, and I did do this one because it's not spammy. It's lifestyle, and somebody just paid their car off early, and that's a big deal, especially if somebody's struggling and needing to make some money. That's going to get their attention. And so anyway, they said, I just want to share another milestone. Today I am paying off my car, first time since I was 16 that I won't have a car payment. So thanks so much for the opportunity. I may be a regional consultant, but to me this is a huge success in my life. And, you know, I said, that is awesome. We are proud of you. And that reached a lot of people, okay? And, you know, people started commenting on it. Here's Rare Profit System. People click on that, and it takes them over there to a capture page that is ready to go, okay? It shows the map where they live automatically, and it's just very, very powerful. I mean, that kind of thing is what you do on your fan page. But even that would be more powerful if it was led with like a 2 or 3 minute video. So just keep that in mind. All right? But that's an example of content that you'd put on your fan page, as well as lifestyle shots, okay? Here's an interview with Vince Reed that when he interviewed Steve Thompson, and they started talking about attraction marketing. So I posted that. And so that's the kind of stuff. But that's where you talk business. Party on your timeline, and then get them over into the different room for business. It would be like if you're at a Christmas party and you showed up and started handing out flyers and brochures and magazines and turned it into an opportunity meeting. You won't get invited back next year to that Christmas party, I can assure you. All right? But if you would simply go to the Christmas party and be so much fun and bring so much fun and value to the party where they meet, they don't even have the party unless you can make it. Matter of fact, they'll schedule the party to make sure it fits your schedule because they make sure you are at the party. And then when you're there, they want to know what you're doing so bad, and you just say, you know, well, now's not the time. But if you'll give me your information, I'll be glad to, you know, send you some information. But just now's not the time. We're here to have fun and not talk business, and it's mainly, you know, pleasure is what we're doing here. And take it away from them. That's more powerful than sitting there whipping out charts and graphs and turning it into an biz op. So, anywho, that's kind of the philosophy and the mindset that goes along with Facebook fan pages, timeline, groups, things of this nature. All right. Now you can go do some marketing in groups, but I'm telling you, lead with a video. So much of ML, here's another question. Much of MLSP is about branding yourself and lead generation. What is the best training on lead generation you recommend within My Lead System Pro? Well, that's another great question. It depends on what you really like to do, what you're passionate about. If you really like Facebook and you're spending a lot of time on Facebook, then there is some great training on Facebook. But I would just focus on that, because here's what one of the biggest mistakes I see happen inside of this platform or this community. A person will get in, they'll get started, they'll click on Facebook, and they go, wow, that's awesome. And then they're, hey, there's a squirrel, and then they're off doing that. I mean, then they're over to Instagram, and then they're in Twitter, then they're on YouTube, then they're on pay per view, and then they're pay per click, and then they're on, they're just going all over and not doing anything. You got to pick one. All right. So, but it is all about branding yourself. All right. And there's a lot of stuff in there. So what I would do, it also boils down to, if you have a blog or if you don't have a blog. If you have a blog, then there's some great tips and things on blogging in there and how to set that all up so that you're branding yourself. A great example, I'll give you my website for everybody that may not have it. It's johnmorrison.ws. That's my blog. I call it my website, but it's a blog platform. And a lot of people don't even know the difference between that. But a blog is very, very intuitive. It's very, very comprehensive. It's not just a static website where if you go out and get a website and have it designed, they say, all right, how many pages do you want? All right, it's 10 pages. Here's the price, and that's all you've got is 10 pages. A blog can kind of take on a life of its own, and you can keep creating pages without continuing to be charged for them. You can keep adding content, and it kind of grows with you, so to speak. And so if you don't have if you have a blog, there's a lot of great training in there. But I hired a person just because I hired it out so that it wouldn't take time away from me. But that's more expensive. That might be an avenue that some may not be ready for. I personally used a guy. His company is WordPress Makeover. A lot of the leaders use him. Ray Higdon used him for his blog. Kate and Andrew McShay used him. Floyd Mayweather. Aaron Andrews. There's a whole bunch of famous people, and he sets up their website. But he sets up your brand. So that's where I'm going at with this question. Not only does he set up your blog, but he sets up multiple platform congruency. In other words, he will brand your blog website, and then he will blog your Facebook fan page also with the banner. For example, here's mine. That looks exactly like my website. So if I was to go over here and open up my website, let's just see here. You can see the top. All of that looks very, very similar. You go to the blog, and that banner is very, very similar to that banner. So that's all branding. Now, some of you are sitting there going, oh, that's fine and dandy, but what if you don't have the money to have somebody do that? Then don't go do that yet. You can utilize a Facebook fan page to where you can implement capture pages, delivering content like a blog, and that's free. You do want to have, though, a very professional cover, because people are going to go on what they perceive, not necessarily what's reality. And if you look dead broke, okay, on your fan page, you're not going to have very many people attracted and coming to you for financial freedom advice. So you want to put your best foot forward, so to speak. Okay, so, but he does that, and then also the Twitter page. He sets up that. and with the same kind of branding. Let me see if it logs in here. You can see how that banner there is very, very, congruent with my website. Everything looks the same. All right, so all of that is branding, and as far as training in the back, there's training on each one of these platforms. But my best advice is to it's just like the golden arches. The golden arches don't change very much. All right, the building might get brought up to speed, more modernized, but they still have the golden arches on them. So you want your logo, it's all about branding, so people can find you, and your name, your website is synonymous with success. I hope I answered your question, Ward. There's so many aspects to this. The YouTube channel, for example, it's set up the same way. Without me having to go through all this and showing you all each one of these pages, they're all set up because he branded them like that for me. I paid him to do that. But a person can now, with Canva, you can set up the format. You can go to canva.com and you can upload a high quality photo, and you can doctor it up, and it'll say what kind of platform are you going to use it for. Instagram, Facebook cover. You can click Facebook cover, and it makes it that exact dimensions for a Facebook fan page. And so that's a great tool to utilize. If you're branding on Instagram, canva.com is a great way to do it. You can take pictures of you doing things out with your business and type captions on it. For example, matter of fact, let me just pull up Canva. This is very, very powerful here. If you're not familiar with Canva, you need to get familiar with it, because it's really, really good. And there's also an app for your phone called Studio, and a ton of other apps. But you can see here I'm logged in, and you can see if I was doing something for social media, I could click here, Instagram post here, Facebook cover, blog title, for blog heading. If I was doing it for a presentation, a poster, I could click more, and it gives me even more options. But let's just say I'm doing let's say Instagram post. It's going to populate all this stuff here, okay? And I can click on uploads, and you'll see here how I've already got a picture here of me actually already speaking on stage. I think this might have been last year at our annual convention. But I could literally go in here, and I could type some text, and I could choose the style I want to put in there, okay? If I wanted to do this one, I could do this, and it would slap that in there, and I could resize it, or I could just slap text in here, like right here, add a little to the body of the photo, and I could type in here. Let me just do it, and I'm going to change the color to white, and I could just type 3 tips to get more people to look at your business opportunity. And what I could do is I could go in here and I could move this all around just like so, and then I could go over here and I could also do it again, and put go to http johnmorrison.ws/blog. Boom. And now that's done, and I can bring that over here, and then I just hit download, and it saves that as a picture. And now I can use that, and I could post that on Instagram. And that's driving traffic to my blog post, my website, to where they can get all kinds of stuff. They can get free training, they can buy stuff, and all of that. And you can move all of this around so that it flows better. But that's basically how you can simply take a picture of you at the beach. 5 simple daily steps so that you can spend every day at the beach and break your alarm clock forever and never, that kind of thing. And that's marketing, my folks and my friends. I mean, that is powerful. You want to find out what other people would love to have, what you're offering, time freedom, financial freedom, okay, more time with their spouse, more time with their family, more time on the golf course, and just tailor make those things to drive traffic to wherever you're wanting to send them. Now, what if I didn't have a blog? Well, I would go in here and I would go to, and there's 2 ways to do this. I could do johnmorrisonlive.com. That domain is forwarded to my Facebook fan page. Okay? If you don't have a domain name that you're forwarding, you could do facebook.com/John Morrison Live. And now that's still accomplishing the same thing. Okay? And you can center it, make it look better. But now it sends them to your fan page. And then you can go down there and hit, double tap, tag a friend, whatever, and hashtag them to death and all that good stuff. But that's just an example real quick of how you can create a photo. You just hit download, and all that is stone cold free. Okay, so take advantage of it. But that's branding, because now somebody's going to look at that, and this is another golden nugget that I'm fixing to tell you, because we've got our annual convention coming up, and you need to go there with 2 things on your mind: taking great notes and learning some skills to help you build your business. And you're going to do it, take the notes 2 different ways. One, how to, what you're learning, and make yourself better and more productive. And then the second aspect of your notes is, what notes can I take and immediately share and teach to people? Okay, so there's your notes. But the other aspect, when you go to these events, you want to take pictures with a marketer's mindset, from a marketing point of view. All right, just like last year, I had Mike helping me. He was taking behind-the-scenes photos. He was taking photos of me on stage. I was taking photos of him on stage with a marketing mindset, with knowing that we were going to use those photos in the future for branding. Okay, and so you want to take pictures with all of the leaders that you can get around, and do it with the mindset, not with where you're sitting there going, "Oh my God, it's #1 money earner." Have the mindset like, "Hey, they've got me they asked me to get in the picture with them." Now, I'm not saying be arrogant. I'm just saying that in your brain, you're thinking marketing from a marketer's point of view. Who's seeing this? They're thinking, "Oh wow, those 2 are together on stage," or "They are together at an event. That person's keeping good company. That person is around go-getters, so they must be a go-getter." So take very strategic pictures with top money earners, with leaders, with well-known people, with the mindset that you're going to use that for marketing in the future. Because just imagine what those photos can look like when you're popping your picture up there and slapping these calls to action, like we've got over here that I'm showing, in Canva, that example. Imagine that's you standing with the top money earner. 3 tips that both of us use to generate, massive growth in our business. go to and send them to somewhere that's going to give them an offer to capture their information, and have people raising their hand saying, pick me, pick me, pick me. Okay, so go with that mindset, making every spare second profitable. So hopefully I drove that home. Okay. Any other questions here in reference to any of that? I'm kind of shooting from the hip shotgun here, but I'm telling you that's very, very powerful. Matter of fact, Doug and Regina Burdett did a great job of that at the recent Live the Dream. You know, they took photos of they're standing there with Ray Higdon and, you know, Lisa Grossman or Lisa Torres and all of these people that are speaking on stage at an event where anybody in this niche and this space knows who those people are, and there they are standing there, you know, in good company. And now if you have that picture and you say, hey, you know, three secrets that your upline's not telling you, that kind of thing. Guess what? You know, that's kind of stuff that's going to get attention when people want to know. So hopefully that's beneficial. Another question, let's see here. What do you recommend to get great images, pictures of yourself that you can use for promotional purposes? A new person may want to know this, and then you're answering this right now. Yeah, well, a great way to do that is to, you know, a lot of times there's a photographer on site. A lot of you know good photographers, and some of you are good photographers. And I would take advantage of that. I know, for example, Regina, her family, she was raised in a photography family, and she was teaching me things with my phone that I should be doing, you know, to get a better picture and focus and all of that. So just like I used the example earlier, you know, make sure you've got some, you know, the new iPhone's really, really good. The camera on that is pretty good, especially when you're, you know, not acres away from your target. But, you know, I've got a video camera that I used a lot, and I received an award at the Live the Dream event. Well, to you know, nobody outside of that circle of ours knew that this was happening, but I had people videoing me going up on stage getting that award. I had people taking pictures of that that didn't know that that was happening. Now, why would I do that? Because I'm stuck on myself? No. I'm using it for marketing in the future. I'm already thinking, if by chance they give me an award, I want somebody filming it, videoing it, taking pictures of it so that I can use all of that in future marketing. And, you know, some people have really, really nice cameras, you know, and they can do that. And all you have to do is say, hey, look, can I get a copy of that? Sometimes they'll give it to you for free. Sometimes you might have to pay for it. But in the scheme of things, can you imagine the cost that it would take to try to set up that and duplicate that experience with a photographer when you already are at the event and taking advantage of it? Let's just say your brand spanking new. And now I'm not saying be unethical and lie and tell people you're doing stuff that you're not doing. All right? But I am saying there's nothing wrong with, on a break, getting on stage and taking a picture with a background like that. You see, in this example right here, that could have been a sound check. Okay? But that looks like thousands of people are in the room. Now, it just so happens that there were, but my point is, I could have been checking a microphone and getting this picture with nobody in the convention center with that on the screen. So you're thinking from a marketer standpoint. Okay, let's just say I'm absolutely nobody, and they're taking a break, and I run up there, and somebody takes a photo. Okay, with the backdrop on stage. There's all kinds of opportunities and things. Matter of fact, you probably saw a lot of people doing that very thing at Live the Dream. So on the breaks, they were up there taking pictures in front of the big screen with the MLSP logo and all of that good stuff. All of that, just be thinking, what can I do that I could utilize for future marketing, future pictures, future branding, that kind of thing. Okay, so those are some examples of ways that you can get great images, but they do need to be high definition if at all possible. All right, so take advantage of that. For someone new to our profession, not much success yet, what do you recommend to start gathering leads in a reasonable amount of time, not necessarily overnight? Hope that makes sense. What I would do is I would go in there and I would use the Ray Higdon philosophy, ILT, invest, learn, and teach. What I would do is there's already a ton of great training, especially for all of you. If you're on this webinar, you're a Mastery member, which means you have access to the back office training library. And let me show you that, because some of you may not even know where that is, and I take that for granted sometimes. And so let me go over here and show you what I'm talking about. Okay. So in here under training, you're going to go down here to the training library and click on that. And when you click on that, that is going to open up this massive, major. If you were to try to buy this, I mean, it would be insane. I mean, look at all the training in here. There's 497 trainings on business strategies, 376 on goal setting. Just all kinds of stuff in here that you can take advantage of. But let's just say attraction marketing, 453 trainings on attraction marketing. You click on that, and it's going to pull them all up. All right, and you can go down here through here. How to profit and win at live events with Brian Finale. 3 simple strategies to get more leads. See, there's one. You can click on that. There's 56 minutes and 33 seconds of sheer training on that very topic. And they're probably going to tell you exactly what campaigns to use, where to paste them, where to post them, and I'm just telling you to add your own little quick video to it, and you're going to have more success. But there's all of these trainings in here, and retargeting. A lot of people, that's blowing people's mind that that's so powerful and actually as simple as it is, and you have campaign for showing them just how simple that can be. But also when you go in here to your home dashboard and you scroll down to the bottom, here are the 10 daily steps to fire your boss, and that's where I would send people. Okay, I would send them to that and say just plug into that, but instead of just posting links, do a quick little video beforehand, post the video, and then paste the link underneath that that's going to tell them what they're going to get. You want to salt their oats. You want to slap the honey to it to make them want to jump on it even faster. And so that's where I would focus my time. But there's all of these campaigns. There's like 50 campaigns. You go over here to websites. There's the MLSP campaigns, the profit campaigns, product campaigns, and the system campaign. And I'm just saying, make sure you just add your video first instead of just slapping those links out on everything. And that's what I would do. Okay, that's another thing as far as generating leads quickly is the Wednesday night webinar. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you where to find that under the systems campaigns, and you can promote the upcoming Wednesday webinar. All right, now this is the link you will use, and it will put them in whatever autoresponder you have set up, and it will notify you. But those are the links right there. Okay, and that's very powerful. That's probably generated more leads than just about anything, depending on the topic for the week. So you can take advantage of that. But that's very, very powerful. especially when you can go over there into the Facebook, into those different groups and pages, and post a quick video. If you've ever wanted to learn how those folks, when you go and shop on Amazon or Bass Pro Shop, and you're looking at a specific item, and then you go over into Facebook, and all of a sudden that item appears, and it follows you everywhere you go, and you're wondering, like, is Big Brother watching me? That's called retargeting. And we're going to have a free webinar this coming Wednesday that shows you exactly how they do it and how you can do it too, so that you can generate big-time profits for your particular business. This webinar is 100% absolutely free, and all you have to do is click on the link and sign up. There's no credit card needed. All we need is just accurate information so that we know where to send the link so that you can get on this incredibly powerful free event that's going to show you how to take advantage of retargeting and tracking pixels. I look forward to seeing you on there, so click on the link below and get registered as soon as possible and log in early because it will max out. That's an example of how you can promote that Wednesday webinar if they're talking about retargeting and tracking pixels. If not, you can still do it by, going up here to, I forget which one it's under, but I think it was called Profit with Pixels or something like that. Here it is right here. You can do that without it being a Wednesday webinar. You can click on that. It's going to show you what it looks like. And, finally, add audience pixels to your website today and legally follow your prospects all over the internet, yada, yada, yada. You can send them to that link, even if they weren't talking about that on Wednesday. But the Wednesday webinar is very, very powerful. And, they're going to talk about capture pages, the funnelizer, and the CRM tomorrow night. And so, hey, if you've wanted a system that it has all of the tools you need to have a profitable, successful business, tools like a CRM, customer relationship managing tool, also a funnelizer, which does unlimited capture pages with copy and paste. Within 5 minutes, you can have your own custom funnel built. I highly recommend that you get on this free webinar tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central. They're going to show you a platform that has all of these in-house under one roof, and this webinar is absolutely free. Just so click on the link below, sign up for that webinar. It's going to max out. Seats are limited, so log in early, but get registered for that event, and I look forward to seeing you on the webinar. Take care and have a great day. That's an example, and I'm just doing this off the cuff here, so I'm trying to answer your questions. But those are examples of how you can do something really, really quickly. So I hope I answered that question. Okay. What would be the best action step everyone could do tomorrow on Facebook to promote MLSP? That webinar, because what they're going to do is they're going to get on there. That's going to show them the CRM, funnelizer, and as a byproduct, they will probably promote MLSP, since that's an MLSP event. So I hope that answered that question. What kind of funnels are you creating? Mastery, network marketing funnel for your network marketing business, BizOp, etc.? Yes is the answer. All of the above. I'll show you. I've got one for just about, and you should have more if you want to know the truth about it. But you go down here under website, My Funnelizer, and go through the launch phase. And I highly recommend, if you're not familiar with Funnelizer, you haven't played around with it yet, just click on these toggle instructions and watch these videos. Those video trainings right there are very, very good. Okay, and watch those first. But you launch Funnelizer here, and it'll populate. You'll see the different funnels that I have that are active. And you'll see there's an Ambit, there's one for Texting Cloud, there's free electricity, one that's my attraction marketing one that I basically explained and showed to everybody, which is responsible for all of the growth in my business. There's a mastery funnel, a 3-minute expert funnel, special invite, simulcast, all kinds of stuff in there. You can see, several people clicking on that, and I hadn't even really been focused on this, to be quite honest with you, because I haven't really had to. I still take my business with me when I'm out and about, but at the same time, Let me see if I can show you some examples of this and how powerful it can be. Let me see if I can bring it over here. And these aren't all of them. This is just a folder here. But you can see here some of the leads from the funnels that have been generated. And this is on a new computer, and this isn't all of them. But I mean, you can see it goes back to 2011 just in this. You know, so I hadn't gotten all of them back over here, but this was on my iCloud account, and a thing that I saved just for my network marketing business. People wanting free electricity. So, I mean, you know, all of this is, I mean, once you learn how to do this stuff and it's on autopilot, oh God, I mean, it's a whole different mindset, okay? Mike, if you're on here, you want to elaborate, you're more than welcome to. You're on that side. So, let's see. After we sponsor a new member to MLSP, what do you recommend? Well, I recommend that you do what I did and put your own video together, all right? And then you load that on your homepage. Now, in MLSP, on my homepage, it's going to show Michelle Pesco-Solido, okay? And there's her video. For y'all, that's me. And if I wanted to watch this, you'll see my video here, okay? That's the video I uploaded, and it basically tells people, you know, look, welcome aboard. I'm fixing to redo that, as a matter of fact. It's fixing to be updated pretty quick, where I'm going to even, in that video, say, welcome to My Lead System Pro. I think you've got your hands on one of the most powerful tools when it comes to learning attraction marketing. But there's some things that you want to do first and some things that you don't want to do that can distract you. And here's the first thing I do want you to do. I want you to call me right now. My phone number is listed below, and I want to make sure that you're following instructions, and I want to personally meet you so that I can tell you what I want you to do first and second and third, and how to best take advantage of this platform. With that being said, and then I'm going to go on through the video and tell them, pick one strategy. Don't sit there and try to skip around. Watch all of the videos. I tell people, go up here to the top and click on the Start Here button and step one. And don't skip around. Don't try to cut in line. Watch step one. Watch those videos, and you'll notice I have done it, okay? I'm not telling people to do something I did not do. And so I did that. And all of these videos, I'm 100% complete, all right? And so I tell people, watch all of them. And then go up here to University. And then click on that and watch that. And watch video 2. And you see, I'm glad that happened just like that. Because a lot of people, even though I came to the table knowing a lot of this stuff, I still didn't want to miss anything. And so what I recommend them do is to go through all of that. And very few do, which is sad. They don't follow instructions. They try to cut around, cut corners, and they get off track, and they don't follow the steps. And before you know it, they're not logging in. They're not utilizing it. They quit. They go out here and tell people, just like they do about their network marketing business, oh, I did that for a month. That didn't work. Didn't do this. Didn't do it. No, it isn't going to work for anybody that doesn't ever log in. Okay, I have people that I have referred to My Lead System Pro that have never logged in, and they're still paying Mastery membership fee. That I don't understand that. I mean, I truly do not understand why you would do that. So go through the steps. They're in there for a reason. When they get through with that, go to University 201 and then Mastery and all of those, and complete them all. All right, and go through the whole training back there. And the only time you're allowed to skip is if they give you permission to skip around. So after I get somebody in there and refer them to the platform, What do I recommend? Watching all of that video training on their downtime in order. Don't skip around, and call me. And I even say, here's your, go to my website, johnmorrison.ws/book me, schedule your free coaching call. As a mastery member of mine, you get free coaching from me, but you have to schedule it and provide so much value to them that they wouldn't want to quit even if there was no MLSP. They want you, okay? And just do that. That would be my recommendation. Cool. Hopefully that got that question answered. But I do tell them to focus on one strategy, okay? And I'll show you where that is, just so that everybody knows what I'm talking about. Under training, there's marketing strategies here, and they list them all, okay? CRM, funnelizer, social networking. Pick one, okay? This is the shiny object syndrome down through here, because there's all this stuff that they can go and go, oh, wow, look at that. Oh, over there. There's another ride over there. Oh, let's go to the hot dog stand. I mean, they're all over here, all over the place. Pick one. If Facebook is your hot button and where you spend most of your time in social media, then I say get on Facebook marketing and just learn everything you can about that. That's one of the things that Mike Snow is doing, and very well, I might add. I love videos, all right? So, you might want to learn YouTube pay-per-click or just YouTube in general, okay? And go soak all that up. All right, there's all kinds of stuff in here, so you pick one platform that resonates with you. Some people like Instagram marketing. If you like video, here's the video marketing. If you want paid marketing, I wouldn't spend a dime. This is another pig trail, though. I wouldn't spend a dime without setting up pixels. Anybody want me to go through that real quick? And the reason I say that, if so, type yes, shout, do something, send up a smoke signal or a flare, and I'll do that. But I wouldn't spend a dime until I've got a little bit of a record of who's visiting, who's looking, and get more laser targeted, okay? But pick one platform and go with that. All right, how do you feel about us plugging the people we sign up as mastery members into this group? I haven't really decided on that yet. Personally, I don't have a problem with it. The reason I kept this one private, and the reason I'm trying to keep them private, is so that they're more intimate and more focused on your questions. And the more people we have in here, less of your questions we get answered. But you know what? I don't really mind. It's really up to you, and I will typically stipulate that when I send out the invite. I'll say, I might be covering topics, and tonight I knew I was going to kind of shotgun spray things, because once the questions start, they start. But in the future, it might be just one topic, and I'll send out, mastery webinar tonight for mastery members only. Feel free to invite your mastery members as well to this site. To this webinar, and I'll stipulate that. But depending on what I'm going to talk about, and kind of having an idea of where the questions and the Q&A is going to go and the time it's going to take, I might say it's private, just so it takes care of y'all, because I want to make sure you, my mastery members, are getting the most value you can possibly get, and custom coaching for you, okay? And so when I start going to where you go on my website to book your coaching call, that's not for everybody else's people. You want to do that for your people. You're getting paid for them, okay? I want to make sure y'all are successful and can drive traffic, build your businesses, and rock and roll. Just like when I offered this at the training in May, you know, this is totally free for y'all, and I want to make sure that y'all get the most benefit out of it. That's the only reason why I kept this one private. But if you want to invite yours in the future, and I'll try to do my best to stipulate if that's okay and all of that, which it really is. I don't mind, as long as it's helping people. I'm cool with it, really. You know, it's just the more we do, the more questions that might take away from you getting your question answered. To just keep that in mind. Make sense? I hope so. You know, you might be on here and wanting to ask Facebook questions, and somebody else is on here from some other group asking Instagram questions. So it just takes time away from what you might get more value out of. Let's see here. Regina, see. I'm just checking the chat box here in case somebody didn't put it in the Q&A here. And let's just see. Oh yeah, Regina brings up a good point in the chat box. Leaders at different events will also do short videos with you where you can do interviews. You know, I've seen Elizabeth interview Ray Higdon at the Live the Dream before this last one when it was at the convention center. That's a great point. And then they can share it on their Facebook page or blog, and you know, they typically love to do it. They don't have a problem on the breakouts or breaks doing it. You just have to catch them fast because somebody else is probably going to do it. And there's usually the backdrop banner branding in the event in the background. It looks professional. And Regina even says she did it several times. Okay, let's just see here. We got another question. So thanks. It's a little bit different than a downline. Yeah, yeah, because you know this really, you know, when they say it's not an opportunity, or you know, networking business, they're right. Because it's one level. You know, we don't get paid on levels 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 through infinity. So I mean, you know, your time is valuable, and you know you want to make sure you bring the most value to the people that you're getting paid on. If that makes sense. So. But at the same time, you want to make sure your people are you know, getting value as well. And so the fastest, best way I know in this platform is to plug them in, tell them this is, you know, eat this elephant one bite at a time. There's just so much training in there. Just in the training library by itself would blow the average human mind. You'd never catch up because everything they do from now on is being recorded as well. Anything they've done in the past is recorded and in there. So you have to be laser sharp focused on what you're looking for so that you just focus on that. But at the same time, I just tell them it's you know, this is the Harvard of attraction marketing. And it's just a lot cheaper. You're not having to pay Harvard tuition, and you're still getting the education. So learn it at your speed. That's the beautiful thing about this is you can learn it when you don't have to wait on a teacher. That video will play whenever you hit play on whatever training you're looking for. At the same time, you know 2 people right now that could benefit from this same training to help them build their brand, their business, their whatever, and right then now they're in profit mode because now they're getting paid $100 a pop, and it's only cost $150 to have it. So now they're making $200. Now they got $50 in profit to invest in an ad or websites or whatever they want to use that money for. And now they've got something that they can offer to people that's not necessarily interested in their network marketing business. Learn branding, learn attraction marketing, and just rock and roll, man. That's awesome. Another question: can we record a webinar that promotes mastery with leaders that are here? Certainly, yeah. I mean, I don't see a problem with that. And there's several that are already out there. Matter of fact, I'm fixing to do a blog post called "What They Don't Tell You About My Lead System Pro," just to clarify and eliminate all of the myths. Okay, And I'm going to go through the list, who it's for, who it's not for, what it is, what it's not. And then people can go check out that blog. But I'm gonna set the record straight, because it's getting twisted out there, and it shouldn't be. This is not an opportunity. It's not designed to, be some, lead brokerage purchasing platform. It's to learn attraction marketing and then implement attraction marketing into your business. Nobody is going to tell me attraction marketing does not work. I will prove them wrong with documentation and living, breathing examples. Just like there was a reason I had all of those people stand up in that training, because you cannot argue with that. That puts the ixnay, to everything. And, so we know attraction marketing works. Now, how do you learn it? Do you want to go spend thousands of dollars like I had to, sitting in seminars and then going home and trying to implement it on your own and just getting, costing more and more money while you sit there and throw stuff up against the wall to see what sticks, see what works, see what doesn't work, test, retest, split test here, do that? Or do you want it to plug into a platform that already knows what works, has systems and campaigns already designed for you to implement right now to help you, and training on at your pace, at your time, and in video format? I don't know of a better platform to do that than this. That's this productive, I should say. Okay. Discuss the differences between AWeber and the what's built into My Lead System Pro, other than the cost for AWeber. Well, the GVO autoresponder inside of My Lead System Pro, it's a starter kit. It's a starter version. Okay. Whereas AWeber is I'll just say it's the Lamborghini of autoresponders as far as what most platforms are set up to integrate with. Not all platforms will integrate with GVO. Not all platforms will integrate with iContact. Not all platforms will integrate with MailChimp. Not all platforms will integrate with GetResponse. Not all platforms will integrate with Constant Contact. All of them integrate with AWeber, because it's that powerful, that productive, that good. Now, is it as user-friendly as some of those? Probably not. But even with that being said, the learning curve is not that much more difficult to just go ahead and learn the best one from the beginning. Now, are there bigger, badder ones out there? Like, yeah, Infusionsoft, but it's very, you talk about make you, I mean, that one is intense, and $1,200 a month minimum just to start. So you don't need Infusionsoft. You don't need Infusionsoft until you're making about 10 grand a month on autopilot. Then you might look at Infusionsoft. Next notch down, I'm with AWeber. I think AWeber, you can share campaigns, you can integrate just about anything into that. It's customizable. There's apps for your iPhone to where you can load people on lists on the go. Just the things that will do, you might as well, if you're going to learn one, you might as well just learn that one. That's the best one. So that's my opinion on that, because it's very, 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 very powerful and very good, and it lets you brand, and I'm a fan, and I don't know of anybody that's in this profession that's a marketer that does not have AWeber or better. So I hope that helps explain that. Now, are there cheaper ones out there? Yeah, you can get up to 500 for free, up to 500 leads, and I think iContact will allow you to have up to a certain number, and it's pretty good. But the training out there, there's a lot of training. If you have a question about AWeber and you can't find, you could literally go on Google how to do this or that in AWeber, and watch a video on, YouTube. Point and click how to do it. Very, very powerful. Very, very powerful platform. And I use it. I could actually show it to you. If you don't have it, let me know. I can show you kind of the back office and how simple that is. Any other questions? Fire away. We'll wrap this up. I think that's got just about all of them. All right. Mike Snow, you have anything to say? I see you. How's Grandpa doing?
Man, I'm staying out of trouble. I'm telling you. But AWeber, you know how I feel about AWeber. That's the monster. That's the Cadillac. I did GVO. I'll tell everybody. Before my Lead System Pro, I had never did an autoresponder. Period. John had told me about it over and over, but I just never slowed down or took the time to even get into an autoresponder and do email campaigns. I was just using my regular email service, and sending out emails. So I got into the GVO, I started using it, and then I saw how simple it was. And I said, man, this is great. But then I took a look at AWeber, and I was like, well, wait a minute, this is a total difference here. With AWeber, you can do all kinds of things. And I had already learned a little skill set, and then I just moved up. And AWeber is the one I'm going to stay with. I have both of them right now. I'm using because I'm getting it for free. So I'm going to use it. So I use it in some of my campaigns. Some of the things that I'm doing, I'm still using GVO, but I got AWeber backing it up. You can send, when you know how to do it, you can send people to numerous lists and just keep tracking all of that, all of those emails coming in. And I just do that.
Yep, great point. I'm going to try to pull mine up here just so I can show you a couple of things that it will do. Let's see here. Bear with me 1 second. I want to show you this.
Hey, and I'll say this for all of, because this is all Mastery members. Just like John is doing this training now, you should be taking notes, because this is what you got to do. I mean, you're going to build this. You got to help people and train people. Now, you don't have to know everything before you start training. If you know one thing that the person you're talking to don't know, you're a trainer. Start training.
I'm going to find one of these links here, and I'll show you what we're talking about. All of them got coming soon here, so I want to bear with me 1 second. I want to show you this just so you'll know what I'm talking about. And I'll blow it up where everybody can see it. Okay. So right here under the MLSP campaigns is where I'm at. Okay. So I'm in MLSP campaigns right here. I scroll down. Let's just say I'm on the Mastery Sales page. I go to this email swipe and show that. Whoop, wrong one. Let me see where I was. Monthly offer maybe. Some of them have this coming soon, and some of them are ready to go. Anyway, they have all of these emails that are ready to rock and roll. But I want to show you, I forget which one I just clicked on that had it. Well, bear with me here. I'll find it again. Lord mercy. Well, there is a code. If I can find one of these that has it, that will allow you to paste it in Aweber. I can't remember which one it was now that I was on. Let me just go over here to system campaigns. See if these have it. We're fixing to update all of these too, from what I'm understanding. You know which one of these has what I'm talking about, Mike? Off the top of your head, just to keep me from going through all of them.
No, not right off the top. I did look for them, and I'm looking now too.
Well, I just had that bad boy. Just bear with me. I'm going to show it to you because it's very, very powerful. I'll go to system campaign and try some of these. Let's see. This might have one. Oh. Let me see. Anyway, these email swipes, you just copy these and you paste them in your email and send them out. Let's see. The type file claim one was new. I knew that. I thought it was the main mastery one, but I guess I was wrong. Unless I kept skipping around. Let me just do it one more time here. I'm pretty sure. Mastery, sales page, annual offer. Let me try that one. No. Anyway, there's a code on some of these campaigns to where you can paste that code in your Aweber list and it will automatically load all of those follow-up emails that you see. It'll load the entire campaign and automatically load your links so that you don't have to do any of that. And I'm going to find that bad boy now because I'm on a mission. And I just had one. I should have left it up. We'll start from the bottom here. To you see here. It'll even do the Twitter and all of that. Here it is. Here the mastery funnel generic email swipe copy. So here it is for Aweber. You would copy this link right here and paste that in your Aweber account on the list that you want. And it would load all of those campaigns, and I'll show you what that looks like here. Let me flash over here and see. Here's my list. Let's just see here. I want to go to MLSP master. I'll click on that. And I can sit here and I can look at messages and follow-up series. And I pasted that code and it loaded all of these emails for me. And it shows you when it's going to send it out. Day 3, send 3 days after the previous message and stuff. And you can even tailor make these. You can tweak them. You know, they have it every day. I kind of space some of them out. It sends the first one immediately, but it'll allow you to look at it and see what it looks like and all of that. Send a test email. But it puts your link all over that bad boy. It says global domain /intro. That's automatically putting your links all in this bad boy. So if they click on any of that, it's going to your page, cookied to you. And so all of that is all done for you instead of having to go in there and come up with your own follow-up series and things of this nature. That's very, very powerful and a huge time saver. Okay, so you can take advantage of all of that. So anyway, I wanted to show you that. And in that example, actually GVO had a code and all of that, but not all platforms link with that, with GVO and Constant Contact and all of that. They all, I've yet to find one that does not do Aweber. If it's worth its salt, it's going to do Aweber because Aweber is the Mac Daddy of autoresponder platforms out there. Have you ever found one, Mike, that doesn't do Aweber?
Nope.
So
I was on Constant Contact and I was on iContact, but I always saw Aweber was everywhere.
Yeah. All right, another question. If someone new is low on funds, what do you recommend? Get more funds. No, I'm just kidding. What I would do is I would take the test drive. That's $10 for 10 days, and I would start implementation. But you know, I'm preaching to the choir here, but because people are low on funds for a reason. It's because of choices they made. I was one of those people. You just have to figure a way out. You just have to make it happen. You know, whether that's cutting the cable off. So you can focus your time on that and saving $80 a month here, $100 a month there. You know, there was a time in my life where it wasn't fun. And I'll just tell you, it was painful, but I appreciate it. And um, you know, you're just going to have to do it. I will tell you this: if a person's low on funds, free is more expensive, because when you sit there and try to piddle around with this and try to find the free route, you'll look around 5 years from now and you could have been well ahead if you'd have just bit the bullet and figured a way to do it, and had all this stuff waiting on you in the back office and ready to implement. I've had to do it the hard way, and it isn't fun at all, and it's usually more expensive. I tell people all the time, free is the most expensive four-letter word in the dictionary. And that's about the best way I can put it, because you know, by the time you try to figure it out on your own, you know, you could have been making money. So, but it's not a fun place to be. I've been there, done that, can relate to it. But just from experience and knowing, you know, take the get in university at $50 a month, and at least get in there and get the training and get you some, you know, leads going and utilize the CRM and all of that. But as soon as you can, upgrade, because funnelizer's very, very powerful. And they're fixing to give you a blog here in the next little bit. For everybody that was lived the dream, you're going to be getting your free blog website ready to go and implement, which is powerful. And that right there is going to save you several hundreds, if not $1,000. You know, it cost me over $1,000 to get my blog set up and going and everything. And you're going to have your own blog as part of this platform, and you can get on Fiverr. If you're in reference to not having funds as far as advertising or paying somebody to do your blog, get on Fiverr and you can sub that out for $5. You can have somebody create a, you know, Facebook cover photo. You can have somebody design a blog header. You know, there's a lot of cost-effective ways of doing things now that weren't available just a few short years ago. So where there's a will, there's a way. And I hope that answered that question. But it's kind of like attending events. You know, it's not fun coming up with airfare or hotel fees at fair, and you know, parking and all of that. But you got to be there, because that's where you're going to be taking pictures and have marketing opportunities, learn the skills, learn what to implement, learn what to teach and reteach, and to drive traffic. You got to just find a way, you know, and do whatever it takes on the whatever it takes program. I know I have spent a ton of money, and I would have loved to have had something like this back in my real estate days, even, where I spent over $100,000 learning this stuff and getting licensing for other products and reports and things of this nature. And if I was still in real estate, I would be utilizing this platform. I would be blowing Funnelizer up to build my real estate business. So the tools that are in here are awesome. Question: when Doug and I tested some campaigns between our two emails, we discovered that that's GV. Let's see. Is blasting my email with messages. I cannot control it. Can I find a way to control it through MLSP so that I'm not over blasting people that I send an MLSP campaign to by email? Mike, are you still there?
Yes.
You might want to, because I from day one, I was using Aweber, even though they gave that to me for that platform inside of My Lead System Pro was free, and part of it. I was straight Aweber because I knew that that's what I was going to be utilizing. So is there a way, what they're asking, is there a way inside of GVO to space out the messages like you can in Aweber? Can you customize that?
Right. It's just the number is the same that it is in Aweber. The number of days that it's going to go out: 0, 1, 2, and all they have to do is change that number.
Okay. So if it's the same as Aweber, it'll let you edit the frequency.
Yeah.
So that what you'd have to do is just go into each one of those emails, click on it. I'm sure it's an edit button of some kind. You change the frequency from, 1 day after previous message goes out to change that to 2 days or 3 days. Stagger them, back and forth so, they don't get overwhelmed if you think they're getting overwhelmed. And you'll be able to tell if people are opting out or, asking you, unsubscribe and things of that nature. All right. How do you learn how to use webinars on air so you look professional? In the back office? Yes, you can learn in the back office, but you can also learn on webinars like this one. And, there again, you're going to use marketing photos. Webinars on air is very, very powerful because it's fully customizable. It'll allow you to, design your own webinar registration page. And now it implements and integrates with Funnelizer. So you just want it to be very, very professional. That's where those photos come in at the events with top leaders or while you're on stage so that you can, and here's the mindset of a marketer. Take some photos where you're all the way over to the right side if you're going to put writing on the left. Don't center it and have you in the center of the photo. Be on one side or the other so that you can put text. Take some with you in the center so that you can use that as well. But also, whoever's taking the picture, have them move you over from one side to the other so that you can put writing on that picture through Canva and some of these other tools. And you can use that as a background. Okay? Very, very powerful. Utilize the video training in the back because it'll show you how to customize and open up some of those hidden tools that will allow you to customize that with your own background, high definition photo, a map that will show their area that they're logged in from. There's all kinds of things in there that you can utilize. But as far as doing a webinar and being professional, I would just practice. I would go through my PowerPoint presentation, whatever you're going to be showing, and get solid with that. Get solid with the information. What I see a lot of people do, even some of the greatest marketers out there, their entire presentation is basically them reading slides. I mean, the slides up there, they're reading it, and then they're hitting the button, and the next slide comes up there, and they're just reading the entire presentation. I don't do that. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I just like to insert and, put my own personality in there, but at the same time, I've been doing this a long time. So, I mean, I've done a ton of webinars, but I had to start just like you have to start. And you get confident, you get comfortable. Do some practice webinars. Not only learn and practice your slide presentation and all of that, but log in, sign up your wife to attend and hit start and go through a trial run or 2 or 3 or 4 until you get solid and comfortable, and instead of being, and it's going to happen to you because it's happened to all of us, to where you forget to hit the start now button or something, and you've got your mic muted and nobody can hear you, and you get flustered and like, why can't they hear me? And you're hitting buttons and settings and all this, and you're on your headset, you got it muted. Just one little switch, and you pucker up, but you learn from it and you laugh it off and you keep on going. So it's just doing it. But I will tell you this: get started, do it anyway, and you'll look around a year from now and you won't recognize yourself. I'm going to tell you, you'll be empowered, and you just get better and better and better. Do videos on your camera, do Periscope, do things that get you rocking, get you comfortable, get you some experience. Nothing beats experience. I look back, I tell the story about Mike when he did his first live presentation, and he sounded like a room full of rattlesnakes with his change shaking in his pocket when I threw him in the grease. But I was the same way. I remember getting up there when, if I didn't get up and do the business presentation, nobody saw the information. And I turned 8 shades of red because I would just get nervous, and, I would turn red when I got in front of a bunch of people. That was just a trait that my wonderful mother passed on to me. And so anyway, after time, it just wasn't no big deal. But at first it was, but I had to do it if I wanted to get paid. And, there's two types of, motivation, desperation and inspiration, and both work. So just jump in there and do it anyway. And you'll have to do, I've had to learn multiple platforms. GoToMeeting, GoToWebinar is one. Webinars on Air, I had to learn that. Stealth Seminar, Evergreen. There's, GoToMeeting. Not the GoToMeeting. The one we used to use with that a lot of people still use out there. What's that, Mike? What was that called? AnyMeeting. Yeah. And so I had to learn that. I had to learn Talk Fusion. I used that. I mean, if they're out there, I've used them, but I had to learn them too. And it's just getting in there and doing it. Content. With MLSPs, there is a lot of talk about content. What do you recommend? Well, there again, it depends on what you're wanting to learn. If you're wanting to learn Facebook, Bill and Michelle Pestillo-Solito, now their trainings are awesome. Now, if you're talking content for a blog, or never running out of content to do videos, is that what you're talking about? Let me know if that's what you're talking about. If that's what you're talking about, there is all kinds of things out there that you can get content from. You can go look at a Tony Robbins, speech on YouTube. Eric Worre, you can go to Eric Worre's site and go back for 3 years and watch videos and pick one of his videos topics and make it your own. Don't plagiarize and make it word for word. I'm just saying, we're only talking 3 to 5 minute bleeps, but I would look for things that are painful to your target audience. If that's a network marketer, obviously lead generation and having people to talk to is painful. Overcoming objections, painful. How to do a proper invitation. If they don't know how to do that, that's painful. How to follow up, what to say on a follow-up call, painful. So if you can solve the pain, and you can just, there's information, my site, Ray Higdon's site, Carlos Morin, Eric Worre, Robert Kiyosaki, all of these people have information out there. You can, while you're at the grocery store, they have all of those magazines right there at the checkout. Now, why do they have those right there? Because they know some magazine is going to get, and they have all kinds of different magazines, People, Success, and whatever. They're going to have something that's going to hit the hot button of anybody that walks through there, whether they're getting a pack of gum or what have you. And you'll look on the cover of that magazine and you'll see some topics that paid marketers that make a lot of money every year, or the editors that are paid to put eye-catching stuff on there. So if you're in health and wellness, you can look right there in magazines and you're going to see topics, how to lose 40 pounds and such and such. Well, you could get that article, read it, do a video on it real quick if you're in the health and wellness movement. There's all kinds of hot buttons right there just in a magazine rack that'll give you content ideas. It's just endless out there. So, but content, you can find that just about anywhere. I just tell people over and over again, find somebody that's been successful, duplicate what they did, and, you should get the same results. It might take you longer because you might not come to the table with the skills that they have, but, if you were to go back and find out what Eric Worre talked about in the very beginning to build his empire before he built it, and you go, okay, I can talk about that. There's some content. There's 3 years right there. Ray Higdon on blogging, on the 3 biggest tips to recruit leaders into your business. Make it 4 tips. Use his 3 and add 1 of your own. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's the information superhighway, and it's a lot of information changing hands. And when you take, here's another great idea. Here's something else you can do. You can Google tips to grow your network marketing business, and hit search. And on Google, you'll see 3 tips to grow your network marketing business, 7 tips, 1 main tip to grow, and you add all that 7, 3, and 1, 11 tips, and just do your own video with 11 of them, and you add all of them together, and now that's your video. So I mean, there's all kinds of ways of doing it. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question. But yeah, best ways to produce content. Yeah, that's what I would do. Another great way to get content is to have people reach out to you and comment on your Facebook page, with questions that they want you to answer. That's another great way of generating content. Every Wednesday night, I do a conference call in my network marketing business, and we have a Q&A. Every one of those questions could be a video that I get every Wednesday. I mean, it's just endless of how you can do it. You can go on your Facebook page. What's the number 1 problem you're having with growing your network marketing business? Go. And just let people start commenting, and then do a video on every one of those things. So, I mean, I hope I'm making my point. I mean, people are quick to tell you where they're hurting, and all you have to do is provide them a solution. And in training topics, that's a great way of doing it. All right. So, let's see. All right, a couple more. We're about to wrap up here 2 hours. So, but that's what this was for. This is for y'all. So, and we've kept just about everybody on here. So I'm proud of y'all. Y'all are hanging right in there. Evidently, I haven't bored you to tears. That's good. Hopefully, we're bringing some good stuff to help.
Hey, John.
Yes, sir.
That the content, what I've seen, it's coming from the 2 places: either your passion or your pain. And just
or all of the above.
Was, where can I find content? That's pain. You can do it on that. That's one right there. I mean, wherever you are having pain at, are you making enough money? Are you not? Are you doing or achieving what you want to achieve? That's painful. Okay, there's a reason why. Then do something on that reason why. It could be just because of you not doing what you're supposed to do. You could do a video on what I do in the morning. My DOM, or
DMO, yeah.
DMO. See, in the military, it's the other way around. But I mean, you could do something on that. Getting up, am I doing the wrong thing? Or you could just say, hey, I have been unsuccessful all this time doing it this way, and this is what I do on a daily basis, and please don't do what I'm doing. Do this, and you're done.
Your notes are uncashed checks. So all you got to do is take good notes, keep learning, and then reteach it. And right there in your back office is all the content that you could ever imagine. Right there in the back office in that training library. I mean, literally. I mean, it's scary how much is in there. Matter of fact, let me see if I can get back over there to it. Right here in the training library. Oh, got to log back in. Right here. I mean, attraction marketing, blogging, business strategies, Funnelizer, you can do videos on that. Instagram, keyword research, lead conversion. If you just clicked on lead conversion and pull that up, see what happens. Daily marketing routines of ultra successful home biz owners. Do a video on that. You want to know what the ultra successful home biz owners do on a daily basis? Click on this link below for today's blog and video on what the mega successful do to generate big bucks from home. Pow. And then your video is going to be 3 to 5 minutes on point A, B, C, right there in that webinar. How he went from 0 industry knowledge to 100 leads per day. Mark Lalonde, you can watch that. Pixels, list building made easy for struggling marketers. Are you having trouble building a list of people to talk to about your business opportunity? Click below on this link for today's video on how to properly build a list and never ever worry about running out of people to talk to ever again. How? And then do, point A, point B, point C that was in that training. You would never ever run out of content just in here. So hopefully that helps. All right, let's see here. The last time I stayed up this late on a Tuesday was 1999. All right, Roberta. All right, you're firing me up. And you're more than welcome, Regina. That's what it's all about. That gets me more jazzed than anything. All right, so if there are no more questions, I hope we helped and brought value. And man, those were awesome questions. Thanks, Mike, for your input. I gave everybody an opportunity to come over into the speaker side, and they were scared to death. Nobody raised their hand. Yeah. So anyway, that's all I see. And I'm one of these that are along the lines of starting on time and not just sitting here hearing my head rattle and just staring at each other. So I'm going to give you one more minute if you got a question, since there's about a 30-second delay. So you type it in quick. We're fixing to go Betty by.
Hey, for the people that was basically asking you about, using webinar on air, I got the platform myself, and I was looking at it like, how am I going to get comfortable with this? And I figured out a way. And what I do now is everybody that I'm training, I bring one person up on, I create a webinar and I bring them up on, and I get used to talking to one person, because that's what you're doing. When you do a webinar, you're going to be talking to one person. And that one person your voice just ends up landing on multiple people, but you're talking to one person. And since I've done that, I've got better with using the platform, because now I know where everything is. But when I first got in there, I messed it up. I had the mic off. I had it all messed up, but I know it now. So.
Great point. You just got to practice it. Cool. Well, I have to give kudos to Mike. He is the poster child for, he soaks it all up and then he implements it, and results speak for themselves. So it's just doing it, rolling your sleeves up and rocking and rolling. Just being bold as a lion and letting mighty forces come to your aid. All right, well, cool. I don't see any other questions. Y'all have a great week, and we'll do this again soon and on a regular basis. So stay tuned and make sure you go over, and if you're not in our mastery group, shoot me an email, john@johnmorrison.ws, and say, hey, look, I'm not in the mastery group. I need to be added. Here's my email, or here's my Facebook, heading or title, so I can find you on Facebook and tag you, and we'll go from there. But you want to do that, and you also want to go in and get on the text update system if you're not on that. That's inside the group. So we got to get you on the Facebook Mastery group first, and then scroll down and click on that link and put your information in so that when I send something out to my Mastery members, you get it. Okay? So with that being said, y'all have a good evening. Y'all take care.